US foreign policy shift shakes global diplomacy. US policy reversal at UN sparks diplomatic upheaval. On February 24, 2025, the United Nations General Assembly witnessed a dramatic shift in global geopolitics. A resolution condemning Russia's continued military actions in Ukraine secured 93 votes in favor, 18 against, and 65 abstentions. However, the real shock came when the United States, traditionally Ukraine's strongest supporter, aligned itself with Russia in opposing the resolution. This unexpected move signaled a fundamental shift in Washington's foreign strategy, prioritizing pragmatic interest over ideological commitments. Simultaneously, the UN Security Council approved a US drafted resolution urging an immediate cessation of hostilities. Notably, this document avoided assigning direct blame to Russia and was supported by both Moscow and Beijing, an unusual departure from previous resolutions that had strongly criticized Russian aggression. This diplomatic maneuver signified a major change in America's stance, replacing direct condemnation with calculated neutrality, leaving both allies and adversaries uncertain about the future, from strong alliances to strategic calculations. For decades, the US has positioned itself as a global defender of democratic values, rallying allies against authoritarian expansion. However, this new diplomatic approach suggests a shift towards a transactional, interest-driven strategy. By refusing to condemn Russia's actions, Washington has created tensions with European allies, some of whom, such as France, the UK, and Denmark, abstained from the vote, reflecting growing uncertainty over America's reliability. This shift raises concerns within NATO. If the US can alter its stance on Ukraine so abruptly, can European allies still trust its security commitments? These implications extend beyond Europe, with ancient allies like Japan and South Korea now questioning whether America would stand firm in the event of a crisis in the Indo-Pacific. Global consequences and a new power balance. Japan and South Korea are already reacting to the growing unpredictability in US foreign policy. South Korea has announced an unprecedented $46.3 billion defense budget for 2025, while Japan is rapidly modernizing its military to counter regional threats. Meanwhile, countries like India and Vietnam, traditionally balancing relations with both the US and China, are now more likely to adopt independent security strategies rather than relying on American support. This diplomatic shift may mark the beginning of a new era in international relations, where alliances are driven less by historical ties and more by evolving national interest. As global stability becomes increasingly uncertain, countries may be forced to rethink their defense policies and security alliances in response to Washington's recalibrated strategy.